Hey everybody, this is Caller with Rise once again, and this is set 2 of CJ Enters versus KTF Magicians. Game 1 was just showing an absolutely great play from Flash the Veteran versus a new player Movie. Here we're seeing two players who are both relatively new to the big stage, Effort versus Stats. Effort, someone who just really came out this season, another one of these rising Zergs on CJ Entus, and Stats, a relatively new Protoss on KTF Magicians. I actually don't have the stats in front of me, but I think neither of them has played very many games at all. So, I have seen Stats come within an inch to beating Mind in a real nail-biter on the map Neo Harmony against what's his face against Mind. So I mean, that was quite impressive. But right now he doesn't have any stats really. He is 1 and 4. He doesn't have very good stats actually. Meanwhile, Effort is one of the best Zergs right now in the Pro League this season. So I am gonna favor stats here. I'm sorry, I'm gonna favor Effort here. Effort 12 and 5 this season for CJ, and he's just looking very strong.
Yeah, Effort, by the way, versus Protoss has a 70% win rate. That's absurd.
Jesus. Wow.
Stats, on the other hand, his record against Zerg is he's only played one game before, and so he doesn't have a very good record against them quite yet. Effort, by the way, you may not have seen too many games of him playing recently, but if you watched GOM TV at all and go to gomtv.net, you'll see a lot of games of him being played. He is in that Star League series, and he's
Right.
been playing very well. So make sure you check that out. Tasteless, of course, the commentator of those series, and very well done games. Check them out because he has been playing good, and definitely one of those hungry type players to keep an eye out for, because he definitely has that that motivation to win the games. You can see it in like Jaedong. I actually kind of look at him as like a newer, younger Jaedong, where he's got that look of hunger in his eyes, where he's going to do his best to win
Yeah.
games. He's got the intensity on him. Stats, as we had talked about a few times now, he has played well against Mind, and I think he's actually played okay in some of his other games. He hasn't had the luck of winning any of them yet. His game against Mind was pretty epic. It was actually, I believe it was on this map actually. Is this Neo Harmony? I think it is.
It is.
This is,
Yes, it is.
yeah, this is actually the map that he had the epic game against Mind. So we may be in store for a really exciting game here. And, we just have to wait and see how it develops. Both players right now just scouting about, seeing where the other guys are. They're both going to probably realize very shortly where the other player is. Stats, at the very least, knows where he is. And looks like Effort knows as well. So it looks like we're going to see the Forge expansion build from Stats. And was that, I missed how many drones he had before he made that pool. Do you know what that build was? 9 pool. All right. So a little defensive, a little offensive, and should see some action coming from some links very shortly.
Yeah, we're seeing it was either a 9 pool or an over pool. I believe it was a well, actually, let me think. Based on where the overlords are, it looks like it was a 9 pool, in fact, because the second overlord is very close to the base. It is very hard to tell based on their very fast actions how many drones they have, but I believe that was a 9 pool. And it's a 9 pool without gas, note very importantly. So he doesn't want to go for speed lanes. He's probably not going to go for a run by. Instead, what he's going to do is just force Stats to put down 2 cannons before he expands. And there, no, he puts down 1 cannon. So playing it a little bit risky there, Mr. Stats, trying to pick up a little bit of an advantage. But I think it's going to be fine because he's using his probe to distract for long enough that these Zerglings are going to be not going to get there. It would be really risky if he didn't build a second cannon. And we'll see if he tries to do that to gain even more of an edge. And it looks like we're seeing possibly a hidden expansion. All right, so an expansion all the way at the bottom right for Effort. Effort playing a little bit risky, a little bit creative here. Going to put down the hidden hatch. And the thing is, if Stats can't scout that, he might have no idea what is going on. That there's a new base down there. That is the natural expansion on the bottom base. Stats looks like he's scouting around, probably just trying to get another probe into the main, though. And meanwhile, gas going down, so a 3-hatch gas here for Effort. And the probes are there to block, so Effort not going to get through. He doesn't even have speed anyway, so there's no chance of a run by. Maybe he's just going to keep the Zerglings there to... nope, looks like Effort's going to back off. And actually, Stats is going to get in. He's going to see the gas. Now, the thing is, if he sees the gas while it's up, he may just suspect that the gas has been up for a while, in which case he might be suspecting a 2-hatch build. when in reality there's been 3 hatches put down. I don't know if he notices that or not because the gas just went up. So if he notices the gas just went up, then he'll know it's 3 hatches. Anyway, it's not going to make that much of a difference because the builds are kind of similar. He's going to have that probe in there for quite a long time, and he might even see the lair go up, and there's the lair. So he knows there's some tech going up. We'll see if he overcommits on cannons though. That's one thing that effort might make him do if he thinks effort is going to go for a Mutalisk attack.
Yeah, that'd be pretty interesting, actually. So far, it looks like that hidden expansion may actually pay off. And I don't know if we're going to see a Hydra Break here or what, but some sort of 3-hatch build, of course. I'm kind of curious what tech he's going to decide to go at this point, now that he does have the lair going up. In the meantime, it looks like still a very standard game being played from stats. He's going to go for that Cybernetics Core, most likely into a Stargate. And that Corsair, I'll be curious to see if he actually sends it around the map and see what else is out there. If he does send it out there, I mean, he's going to leave himself in a much better position, much stronger position to be prepared for whatever it may be that's what's his name? Effort is
Effort.
looking to do. And Effort, in the meantime, is getting a 4th hatchery up and running. So I'm guessing we're going to see some sort of 4 or 5 hatch Hydra build, actually. But definitely a little early, I guess, to say. And robotics facility going up for stats. So it's going to be a very interesting match as soon as the players get some tech units. And Spire going down. So maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe we're going to see. Oh, but this is again that build that you were talking about the
Macro
last few
build. Yeah.
commentaries we did.
5 hatch.
Yeah. So
5 hatch Scourge first. Yeah.
Scourge
Sorry.
to Dent
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, it's a very common build nowadays, especially with the modern Zergs like Effort and Zero and Yellow Arnak. Finally, the expansion is going to get scouted. Scouted. Stats sees it. Stats, who looks a little bit like Mind, and Effort, who looks like an alien a little
An
bit.
alien.
Yeah. He looks a little bit like a little green man, like a Martian. But that's all right, because he plays pretty darn good StarCraft, so we'll excuse his appearance. He is going to go for that 5 hatch it's 5 hatch Scourge Den. I was going to say Scourge Lurkers, but sometimes it does become Scourge Hydras. In this case, it'll actually probably be Scourge Hydra once he notices that we're going to see a robotics facility down and a robotics support base. So he knows it's Sayer Reaver. And Hydras are a lot better than Lurkers in dealing with Sayer Reaver because Lurkers just, there's no mobility with them. And, they're not just, they can't shoot up, obviously, so that's their second problem. But, it's a pretty good counter against Sayer Reaver. It's going to come down to micro, it's going to come down to control, and I'm going to favor Effort here with the control just because he's had more experience. He's gotten a good 30 pro games under his belt, and he has a better record by far. And Effort as stats has only played 6 games so far, and they've mostly been losses.
Yeah, and again, this build of the Zerg build kind of gets up to around 30 to 36 drones or so. So once it is up and running, it is a very powerful build. And although it looks like Effort has actually lost a couple of overlords out in the field, so that'll slow him down a little bit. Not too big of a deal, really, but of course, a little bit of a delay. And those Scourge almost able to catch the Corsairs floating about over there, but instead they back off to just scout the area. He's going to see the robotic support bay, and I don't know, he must have caught the Citadel as well. Evolution Chamber going down for Effort in the meantime, so that could be indicative of some sort of later Ultra build or something. It could also just be Carapace upgrades for Hydras. Probably more likely Carapace upgrades for Hydras. So a lot of Lings out on the field, though. Now the Hydra's starting to pop out there, and we're going to see he's going to be prepared for the Reavers and the Corsairs because of those. Now all the Gateways going down for stats, so he's going to probably get his 12 speed lots up and ready so he can go for some ground harassment out the front door. It doesn't look like he's going to be brave enough to head out and try to do some damage to Effort's bases yet. He's been stuck in his base. He's probably waiting for that Corsair critical mass that you need to really take out the amount of Scourge that Effort has. So once he gets that, he'll be ready to go out. And he lands 1 Scourge, and that's going to be huge if he can kamikaze the rest in there.
Oh no!
Oh, good try.
Wow, they kamikazed, but they did not land. They were kamikazes, as Scourge always are, but inefficient ones at that time. Meanwhile, though, Effort is expanding again at the lower right corner, taking the main base. So certainly he's going to be economically ahead, 4 base against 2. But here comes the attack now. Here comes the harass. Oh, good Zergling scout though. Stats doesn't even kill the Zergling. His Reaver
That's
sucks.
awesome.
Zergling lives, but and he's been scouted too, so he looks like he's going to go back to his base. What you were saying before, he wasn't brave enough. That's actually kind of a point here. With the Reaver Sarah build, you need to have courage, you need to have guts, and you got to have timing. You can't just stay around with your Reaver flying around your own base because you're not going to do any damage. Oh my God! He almost lost that Reaver, but good work avoiding that. Oh, Shuttle stays alive. So
wow.
Effort losing a billion Scourge there. No exaggeration.
+1 on the
losing,
Corsairs.
Yeah, that's partially why. And maybe, just maybe, we're going to eventually see some carriers. I love that build, but, with a +1, you can go into carriers, but not off of the 2 base. That's too hard. Probably not in this map either. It's not a good carrier map. But he needs to do damage. Stats needs to do damage. Oh, Burl! I love Burl for the Zerg here, and that's going to be so great with scouting, passive scouting around the map, and
awesome.
just great work here from Effort. Effort getting his macro up. That is a lot of hatches in his base, and he's really going to be fine here. We're seeing some speed lots now with the Reaver though, and if he keeps losing Scourge like that. That's not healthy at all. That's a lot of gas going down, so maybe he will be in trouble.
No, that is very bad for the health of the Scourge and, of course, the Zerg player in general. And the fact of the matter is, Stats is doing a pretty good job right now. He's got a lot of bases up, and no! The shuttle goes down! It takes 2 Scourge, and look at him! Look at his face! Stats knows that he is in a lot of trouble. He is in a ton of trouble at this point because the mass Hydra are just going to be able to take out the speed lots as soon as he gets enough Hydra anyway. He's really going to be able to deal with this, no problem, especially with the chokes that we have on this map with the different raised areas. But Stats jumping right in there, trying to do a pretty good surround, actually. Not bad surround at all. And he's going to probably try to get some more Reavers up in the meantime so that those that large force of Corsairs don't go to waste. And here we see Stats getting caught on the ramp. So Effort doing a pretty good job of trying to control and trying to take out that Nexus, but he's going to lose that force of Hydra to the Zealots pretty quickly. And like you said, Burrow, again, seeing it right there, such an important part of Zerg play, I feel, in PvZ. Like you said, the passive scouting, so important, such a big point where you can get just so much information. Look at that. I mean, he just sees the shuttle coming his way. He's intercepting it. Oh, no, it goes down, and Stats, look at his face. He doesn't know what to do. He knows he's in trouble at this point, and that might have been GG right there, man. Wow.
I know. I don't know how many Reavers that held, but the first one definitely had a pair of Reavers inside, so it could be up to 4 Reavers down, 2 shuttles down, Black Hawk down, and Corsairs getting shot down here, falling apart. Effort is just tearing him apart here. Black Hawk down, and there's nothing he can do about it. Stats knows he's in huge trouble. All he has are those speed lots. He doesn't have a production advantage. He doesn't have a tech advantage. And now he could get some probe sniped off here. Still, that one Hydra could be annoying later on, too. And, he's barely getting his third up. And here comes a lot. Oh, but good storm. Good storms. Well, not great storms, but at least storms are going to scare some of the Hydras away, but not for long. Effort is just relentless. He knows he has the advantage. That is a lot of Hydralisks, and only 1 High Templar left now. I don't think this speed lot force is enough. One suicidal storm not going to be enough either. He's going to come in from both sides now. Not mind, Stats. Looks like mine, God. But he is not going to have enough here. And, I wonder if he was doing some Korean cursing there before. He's definitely one of those players that you could see it on their face. Now Lurker's coming out, too. And he's going to lose this third base very quickly now.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, Stats hasn't played particularly bad, but Effort has played great, and I mean he's had the burrowed lings all over the place to observe what's going on, and so he's able to intercept those shuttles. Of course, the first shuttle that he got was very clever play, coming around the back with like 6 Scourge to finally take it out. And man, I gotta say, like Stats, he's really not playing bad at all, and I look forward to his games in the future. But man, Effort is on a tear, and he's just destroying him. And it looks like we got a ton of Overlords there. So I can only imagine that he's setting up for a drop with what looks to be 8 Overlords. We're seeing some Lurkers being morphed in as well. Another shuttle out that's inevitably going to go down to Effort. And yeah, there is a drop. And man, that is about 7 or 8 Overlords setting up for a very big drop, a doom drop in the main base, and there is nothing to deal with it. A lot of Templar out there, but they're going to be storming nothing with the spread that we see from Effort. And a lot of them don't even have Storm yet because they just popped
Oh,
out of the
brutal.
gateways. And so this is going to be it for stats as far as I can see. And Muta coming out now to really seal the deal with the tech switch. Brilliant play by Effort, man. And I think that he just did everything right in this game, with the exception of some loss of Scourge early on.
GG, yo,
GG,
coming from
yo.
stats. And
All right.
unfortunately for him, he is now 1-5. So his stats are not doing very well, even though it's called stats. Really, Effort reminds me almost of Savior back in his prime. Actually, I would say he is very Savior-esque in his play. Savior, of course, has always been best against Protoss, and in fact, I will be casting some games that he played back in the day in sort of a Best of Savior series that was uploaded recently. I will be uploading that pretty soon. But, he's very, very good with his Hydralisks, and he has the anticipation of a true pro. Oh, look at stats. The kid's
I feel bad
heartbroken.
for him, man. I
Yeah,
feel
young
bad for him.
kid.
I really do. Speaking of Savior,
Yeah.
though, who's up next?